Pandora, a barren world, cracked and scorched beneath twin suns. When the corporations first arrived, they promised wealth beyond measure, a treasure hidden deep within the planet's wastelands. The locals spoke of the Vault, a sealed chamber said to hold alien power, advanced technology, and riches no one could imagine. But Pandora is not a world of promises. It is a world of bandits, beasts, and corporations that strip it bare. Into this chaos came four strangers, the ones who would be called Vault Hunters. Guided by whispers, by a mysterious voice over broken signals, they would search for the key to the vault, and in doing so uncover the terrible truth of what slept within. The bus pulled away, leaving nothing but dust swirling in the heat. Pandora's horizon stretched endlessly, a landscape of cracked stone and dry air, painted in the fading colors of rust and ash. The Vault Hunters stood at the edge of Firestone, a settlement built from scrap and hope, its shacks patched together with sheet metal and the skeletons of old machines. Every wall bore the scars of bullet fire. Every door creaked as if it had weathered too many storms. Wind pushed grit across the ground, clattering against hollow barrels and broken fences. Somewhere in the distance, the low growl of a skag carried across the plain, rising and falling like a warning. A single claptrap unit scurried forward, its voice cheerful, almost out of place against the silence of the wasteland. It promised assistance, though its joints squealed with every movement. The Vault Hunters followed, their boots crunching on gravel, their shadows stretching long under Pandora's merciless suns. Above it all, the voice came again, soft, distant, but clear, the guardian angel. Her image shimmered like static in the corner of their vision, framed in light that didn't belong to Pandora. She spoke gently, urging them forward, as if she had been waiting for this moment, for them. Firestone was more than an outpost. It was the first threshold, the first test. Here, the Vault Hunters would learn that survival was not a matter of strength alone, but of endurance, the kind of endurance needed to withstand a world that never stopped grinding down all who walked its surface. And so, their legend began, not with the vault itself, but with the dust of a broken town and the faint promise of a voice that would never let them go. Beyond Firestone, Pandora revealed itself in fragments, canyons that stretched like the ribs of some long-dead giant, scrap heaps glittering beneath the sun, their twisted metal catching the light like scattered bones, and settlements, each one stitched together from desperation, a reminder that people could not resist carving homes, even in a place that wanted them dead. But the Vault Hunters were not the only ones searching. The Atlas Corporation, a giant among the interstellar powers, had marked Pandora as theirs. Through their private army, the Crimson Lance, Atlas spread across the planet like a shadow, precise and merciless. They came in crimson armor, gleaming under Pandora's harsh light, their every step the rhythm of discipline and profit. The vault was no myth to them, it was an asset, a secret weapon hidden beneath the dirt, something they could claim and control. And for that reason, they would hunt the Vault Hunters with the same devotion they showed their corporate masters. Still, the angel's voice persisted. She spoke of keys, fragments of something ancient, scattered across the wasteland. Each piece would draw the hunters deeper into Pandora's wilderness, to bandit camps where the smoke of burning oil painted the sky black, to caverns where skags nested in the dark, their growls echoing like distant thunder, to factories and outposts where Atlas machinery hummed ceaselessly, choking the air with the scent of iron. The hunters pressed forward, not knowing that every step drew them closer to truths that had been buried, not forgotten. Every fragment they carried was more than a key. It was an invitation, an opening act for something that should never have been found. The fragments came together at last, a jagged circle of alien metal, humming with energy that did not belong to Pandora. The vault key, whole again, was more than an object. It was a pulse, a signal, echoing across the stars. The hunters carried it to the place foretold in whispers and half buried maps, a desolate stretch of land where the stone itself seemed to resist the light. The air grew still, heavy, as if the planet itself was holding its breath. They were not alone. The Crimson Lance descended in force, boots striking in unison, rifles catching the last glint of the sun as it sank. Atlas had come to claim their prize, but the hunters endured, their weapons flashing in fire and steel, until silence fell again. And then, only then, the vault stirred. The doors parted with the slow weight of centuries, stone grinding against stone, sparks of alien light crawling across ancient glyphs. Inside, the darkness was vast, the air colder than the desert night outside. But there was no treasure, no weapons cache, no riches for the corporations to hoard. Instead, something older waited, something vast, tentacled, and hungry, the destroyer, a being imprisoned beyond the veil of dimensions, bound within the vault not as a guardian of riches, but as a prisoner of unimaginable power. Its presence was suffocating, a tide of sound and shadow pressing against the walls of the chamber. Its roar was not heard so much as felt, rattling through bone and stone alike. The vault hunters stood before it, not as thieves of fortune, but as reluctant wardens, forced to battle what should have never been unbound. The fight was brutal, but relentless determination carried them through. The destroyer's body crumbled at last, dissolving into the ether from which it came, leaving silence in its wake. And when the dust settled, the truth remained. The vault was no gift, no promise. It was a prison, a seal, broken for just a moment before it closed again with finality. The guardian angel's voice lingered softer now, almost mournful. She spoke of the cycle, of secrets hidden still, of doors yet unopened, and then she was gone. The vault hunters had survived, but Pandora itself had not changed. The deserts still burned, the bandits still roamed, and the corporations still schemed. The legend of the vault did not end here. It only grew deeper, darker, and more dangerous, waiting for the next to seek its call. Pandora remained as it always was, a frontier without mercy. Its deserts stretched on, endless and unforgiving. Its skies burned, painted with dust and storms, and its people continued to cling to survival, scraping out lives in the shadow of legends too large to understand. The vault hunters had opened a door that was never meant to be touched, and though they sealed it again, whispers carried further now. Tales of alien prisons, of ancient beings, of power buried deep within the world. Corporations leaned closer, scientists sifted through fragments of alien technology, and somewhere, beyond the veil of the stars, more voices began to stir. The guardian angel's silence was not an ending, it was a pause, a breath held before the next secret would surface. For Pandora holds many vaults, and the one the hunters had found was only the beginning. So ends the record of the first vault, a story not of fortune, but of awakening, of shadows moving beneath the sand, and of four strangers who answered a call they could not ignore. The dust settles, the night deepens, and the world waits for what comes next.